The Paracave Podcast, proudly brought to you by major sponsor Jack's Pale Ale, exclusively available at Parramatta Leagues Club, Shannon Cooney from Glenmore Park Realty, BTZD Clothing, and the official media partner of the Paracave Podcast, the Parramatta Times.
Welcome to another episode of the Paracave Podcast. And now over to your host, Troy Warner, broadcasting live from the world-famous Paracave.
All right, welcome back to the Weekend Sports Wrap. So you're here with the Duckman. That was Simply Irresistible from Robert Palmer there for International Women's Day there. So probably not the best song of choice. Might not be on the list of songs that some of the women might like, but trying to do something in dedication for all of you out there who help make our lives amazing. And I know that this next guest, Troy Warner from the Paracave Podcast, his wife Amanda makes his life amazing as well. Troy, thanks for coming on tonight.
Not a problem, Duckman. Great to be here. Footy is back, but more importantly, happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. And yes, as you said, happy International Women's Day to my wife Amanda, who does a lot for me and supports me in whatever I do as well. But yeah, it's great, and also Mum as well. She does a great job as well. So happy International Women's Day to all the women out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I forgot to give a shout out to my wife Tammy. Don't stab me, babe. It's all good. So like, I was saving it for now, really. So, yeah, shout out to Tammy and my mother-in-law, Leonie, and my mum, Tracy, as well.
Oh, yes. So, I'll chuck in my mother-in-law too, Judy, as well. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah. All bases covered.
Make sure you chuck it in, so like otherwise we'll get in trouble. So I can tell you for long suffering, all three on my side for sure. But have to put up for a lot of my stuff. So some people say crap. I don't say crap. I say that it's passion, and they say it's crap. So we'll go with that.
That's it.
Because it's in National Ladies Day. All right. So round one so far, 3 games have gone down. The first one up had the Seagulls against the Rabbitohs before we bounce into the whole thing. Las Vegas, tick or cross at the moment. Are you giving it pass or fail, or do you need a bit more time to have a look at it, see if it's working or not working at this stage?
Look, I'm going to give it a tick, a massive tick. I think from what I saw from people's social media, friends that went over there, they looked like they were enjoying themselves. Many of the rugby league social media identities were over there as well and posting every day. The scenes I saw on Fox League as well of Fremont Street, the fan day, look, everyone was just getting around it, and to have 40,000 in the stadium, I believe about 15,000 of those were Australians that travelled over, and I think there was about 5 or so thousand English people who travelled over as well. So look, a great crowd there, and it's only the first year of a 5-year deal, but who's to say it's going to go it won't go longer than 5 years. And look, it's only growing. I think it's only going to grow and grow and grow into a bigger event, and who knows, maybe in a few years we might see a 60,000 seat stadium sold out.
Yeah, there we go. So there were ticket giveaways, but there's always going to be some ticket giveaways, which, like I said to Richard before you come on air, by doing that, the advantage is if people like the product, well, you get them back, right? And people spend money on merchandise and all this sort of stuff. So it's not like you're going without. So people are going to come to your stadiums, they're going to spend some money, they're going to probably buy a bit of merchandise. So if that is a lure to get people through the gate and get a bit of interest as opposed to have less fans and not have that, well, I'd rather have the engagement piece as opposed to not having it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, as you said, people are going to buy merchandise over there. There was a lot of rugby league jerseys over there from over the years. I guess it all depends too on the teams that are playing as well as to what merchandise is going to be sold. But I guess the NRL would have suppliers that would take all teams over there. Look, people are probably questioning the American viewership on Fox Sports 1. I think there were 60,000 people that watched it on Fox Sports 1 in America, the first game, and I think 40,000 for the second game. So about 100,000 Americans watched the game on Fox Sports 1. But again, that's only going to grow and grow and grow. It's only baby steps at the moment, and it's just great to have that on the main Fox Sports channel over in America. And yeah, it's going to get more traction, that's for sure. I think everyone who went over there and has come back has said that even if your team isn't playing, you should put that down on your bucket list to go and attend, because it's a great extravaganza. And people were saying that it was, similarly compared to Magic Round that we see in Brisbane each year. So, look, I was pretty envious of those that were over there, and I'm hoping maybe, just maybe, one year I can get over there and watch some rugby league. I've never been to Vegas before, but and then hopefully Parramatta will be playing as well at the same time.
Yeah, well, I heard that Newcastle actually asked if they can have a bye during the round so they can go over there. They don't want to be involved in it at all. They like Magic Round buys, can go to Bali, and they like having first round buys because they can go to Las Vegas now and have a weekend away. So someone got asked about that from the Knights, and they said that, so I don't think it went down too well. I'm trying to find out which player said it and find the direct quote. They're doing it tongue-in-cheek, but I liked it. It was a good approach. It's very funny. So the games overall, I didn't see them because I was on my way to Football New South Wales commentating, but I was listening to the game. So the Rabbitohs were up, 20 points to 12 against the Seagulls, and it looked like the Seagulls were pretty much done. The Rabbitohs were about to seal it. And then the Seagulls turned it on, got a couple of tries really quickly, and then got full momentum, turned around a 24-point spread, and run away with it. It was too late then. The Rabbitohs came back into it, got a try late in the game, but they'd completely lost momentum. And from what I could tell, they sound like they were really flat.
Yeah, look, it was 12-10 at half-time, the Sea Eagles' way, and then the Rabbitohs came out after half-time and scored two quick tries, one to Latrell Mitchell and one to Alex Johnston. So he adds to his tally. I think it's now 188 tries, so he's getting closer to that try-scoring record. And you thought maybe the Rabbitohs, after scoring those two quick tries, would maybe slowly run on with it, but the Sea Eagles, they had different ideas. I think Tommy Trbojevic, he was involved in everything. I mean, he was taking hit-ups as well. It's his first game since round 15 last season. Luke Brooks was really good for his debut for the Sea Eagles. He scored a try to seal the game in the 76th minute, and it was great to see. He had one disallowed previously for a knock on over the line, so good to see him get a try, but he was really good. And I think Ruben Garrick as well in the centres, he played really good as well. One highlight for Manly was Jason Saab taking the intercept and scoring a try. And he wasn't really at full pace, but previous to that, he also made a break as well from a bit of play, and Lachlan Ilias somehow chased him down and got the ankle tapped him and put him down, and the cover defence came over. But look, there was always going to be questions about the size of the field because it was narrower and it was shorter in length as well. So maybe that had a little bit to do. But look, the Rabbitohs, Manly actually stayed in Las Vegas, I think, for the week leading up to the game as well. The Rabbitohs, I think they were in San Diego, and then they made their way over midweek. So who knows? But look, it's only the first game of the year as well.
Yeah, so it was a good result there for Manly. Jason Saab, do you reckon he's keeping us... How close must he have been to laughing when he goes, best four sides in the comp are over? Like, are you serious? So, like, I can't believe he actually told the reporters that, and he looked like he actually genuinely believed it, which was even more funny. So,
well,
he
has to talk up his club, obviously. They did make the finals last year, but he's got to talk up his club. And look, the grand finalists from last year, they were there. The Roosters, they're always in and around. And the Rabbitohs, they're one of the most supported teams in the competition. So, look, I guess, as I said, he's got to support his team and talk them up. So, was it the best 4 teams? Probably not. I mean, obviously, a lot of people would say, chuck in Penrith there. They're the best team. They're the premiers. So, maybe they should be there. But, he's got to talk it up and promote the game, I guess.
Yeah, should throw in 4 really good sides next year. Dragons, West Tigers, Dolphins, and the Sharks. That'll get good your numbers, and they can mix it right up to get some of those derby games going. Imagine how funny would it be? Actually, if they put those sides in, they're probably going to throw the ball around a little bit and show something different, because the good sides, I think they played a little bit, probably other than the Seagulls, they played a little bit within themselves. So South, like I said, I've got a few questions now about them, so I'm prepared to nearly strike them off out of the 8 altogether for the year. I thought they were only probably just going to make it anyway, and they look like they've just been dipping a little bit over the last, probably year and a little bit in how they're finishing off the comp. So if they start off slow this year, they're going to have problems keeping up at the back end of the year, because they've got an older squad compared to some of the other sides. The second game, Roosters and the Broncos. So the Roosters won 20 points to 10. I picked this game. I'm not surprised. I actually think the Roosters probably, I said, they'll either be second, like first or second, or they'll come bottom 5. I actually think they're probably going to be first or second. I genuinely think they've got a chance to win the comp. And I actually think the Broncos are going to make the top 8. So that's it. I don't think they're going to be a top 4 side. I don't think they can win the comp. I think that the loss of Kurt Capel and some of the other big players is going to really hurt them, like Tom Flegler. That's going to hurt them a lot this year.
Yeah, look, the Broncos, they started off slow and they never really sort of got into the game. As you said, they have lost Tom Flegler, Herbie Farnworth as well, and Kurt Capel. So they're adjusting to life without them. And the Roosters, on the other hand, they seem to come out all guns blazing, because they've been traditionally slow starters. I think James Tedesco came out and said that in his time at the club before the game, he had never won a round 1 game for the Roosters. So he famously lost to his old side, the West Tigers, one year. But so they wanted to start the season off well. And your favourite player, Joey Manu, got the first try. And he also did a miraculous flick pass as well that led to the second try. So he was one of the stars of the game. And look, as I said, the Broncos, they never sort of really got into it. You thought maybe when Reece Walsh scored his try, that with 20 minutes to go, you thought maybe they might slowly claw their way back. It was only 3 tries to 2, but the conversion, Sam Walker kicked 3 out of 3. Adam Reynolds, a bit of a off day with boot. He only got 1 out of 2, but so I think the Broncos, they'll be working. They'll look at that game and obviously review it, because they got this weekend off, and then look forward to playing. I think it's the Rabbitohs. I think.
Yeah, Rabbitohs next Thursday.
Yeah.
So I think they'll beat the Rabbitohs. I don't think the Broncos are that bad, right? But I don't think they'll make the top 4, just with this other sides who I think will fire up. I do think South will miss the top 8. So, but I haven't seen anything that's going to change that at the moment, though, my opinion about that. Joey Manu, I don't know, don't get hit by a push bike or something seriously. So it frustrates me. He's a good player, but he's just annoying. The Knights did what I thought the Knights might do, and I tipped them right. No, actually, I didn't tip them. But if I had have tipped in this game, because I didn't put my tips in time, I would have tipped the Knights. And the Knights did what I thought they might do and not aim up right. So did they punch over their weight last year? Did they aim up and do better than what they realistically could? Well, they showed what they can do. Do you think they're going to do the same this year, or do you think that's not a good start at home against Canberra, who I thought were pretty good when I heard the back end of the game coming home on the radio, but the Raiders were dominating the whole game.
Yeah, the Raiders certainly were dominating the whole game. I think the thing with Newcastle, they went in there as favourites. It was a sellout crowd, which is always good up in Newcastle. They love their footy up there, and they were favourites going into this game. I think last year they had to go on a run and win, I think it was 11 games in a row, 9 or 11 games in a row, and they made the finals. And look, realistically, you can't do that in this competition. You've got to be consistent and win games week in, week out. You can't really rely on going on a run and winning each game in a row. So, look, it's disappointing for the Newcastle side, especially at home. But the Raiders, they shocked everyone, I think. They put on 28 points, and I think it's the first time in 3 years or so that they've won a game by 13 plus. So a lot of people rated them as one of the sides that are going to be down the bottom of the ladder, just because they didn't have those star halves combination or the star spine as well. And but yeah, they shocked everyone. There was a sin binning in the game. Hudson Young got sin binned for a late shot on Kalen Ponga, which look, could he have pulled out of it? Maybe. Was it anything really bad? Probably not, but I guess you just can't do that in these days of rugby league. But yeah, a good win for Canberra.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, so they'll be happy with that. They were expected to lose the game, and people are predicting them to finish the bottom three. I thought they'd probably finish about 10th, maybe. So just as a roughie, it's hard to work out exactly what some teams going to finish like, because they could finish quite a few sides between like 7th to 13th and be very close to making the top four still. Or like I think there'll be a gap between the top couple and the very bottom couple again. So the bottom couple of teams are going to be like quite a way off too. Next game tonight. So looking at this one, the Warriors are up against the Sharks. The Sharks are up 16-12 in the 59th minute. So I actually think the Sharks will finish in the bottom five. I've got concerns about them too. I don't think they've recruited heavily over the top of what they need. Nico Hines caught out a little bit last year, but they're up against Warriors now. The Warriors, I think, are going to need a little bit more time to gel with Roger Tuivasa-Sheck coming back in, and it's a matter of time and now start firing again as well. Not sure if they'll be in the top four, but I think they're a top 8 side.
Yeah, watching this one now as we talk, and as you said, it's 16-12 to Cronulla. New Zealand's always a tough road trip, especially when it's a sellout crowd, and I think their round 3 game is a sellout crowd as well. So obviously their momentum from last year is carrying on into this year. Look, the Warriors, they were leading 12-6 at half-time. Adam Fanua-Blake scored the first try, and Luke Metcalf 5 minutes later scored a cracker of a solo try, and you thought that the Warriors were in control, and they were the same as last year. As you said, they got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, they got Kurt Capewell into this side now, so 2 good players there. But just straight after half-time, Ronaldo Mulitalo scored a try. The Sharks got 2 sets in a row, and then he went over in the corner, and then Sifa Talakai just scored a try as well. So the Sharkies, they're in front at the moment, and they're playing okay. I think the more pressure is on the Warriors at the moment, and to play in front of that home crowd and get that victory. So look, it's only going to be telling to see how they go. The Warriors had really good form in the trial games, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck looked like he hadn't left rugby league. He just had blinders in those, but this is playing for 2 points, so different story tonight.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll see how the Warriors go in a couple of weeks. It's going to take all these sides a few weeks before you can really work out where they're at. But yeah, I think they'll do all right. I think the Sharks are going to be one of these sides that if they lose Nico Hines, they're going to lose so much. It's not funny. So I'll be hoping he stays injury-free through the year. The Storm, they're up against the Panthers tonight, 8:05 in Amy Park in Melbourne, and they're without Cameron Munster. I picked Penrith to win. I was tossing this one up because it's really hard. I thought the Storm probably will get Penrith here. So I just think Penrith are a little bit mentally flat. So, but without Munster, so I picked it before I knew he dropped out. I think the Panthers can get the win now. So is Jack Cole playing 5/8 or is Luai playing tonight?
Jerome Luai is back in that 5/8 position, back with his partner in crime, Nathan Cleary, and Jonah Pezzett comes in for Cameron Munster. Now, I must admit, I've done the tipping, what would you call it, the tipping, not nightmare, but it's just what you don't do in tipping. You make a tip and then you change it. So I actually did tip the Storm early on in the week, and if you listen to the podcast, I did tip the Storm, but I have changed the Panthers, and that is for the sole reason that Cameron Munster is out, because he is a massive loss for this side. The Storm have a ridiculous record in the first round. They haven't lost one since 2001, I think it is. And
21 years or 22 years in a row or something like that.
Ridiculous, and that's why I went for the Storm early on in the week, and with Cameron Munster there. But here's a huge loss for this side, and I think the Panthers, they are pretty much their premiership winning side, pretty much the side that they played over there in Wigan against the Wigan Warriors. Moses Leota, congratulations to him. He plays his 150th NRL game, so a bit of a milestone game for him. So the team will want to get up and lift for him. And the Panthers, they're on their premiership defence, so they're after 4 in a row. Look, many people have tipped this to be the game of the round, and it probably will be. I just don't know how little or how much effect on the Melbourne side Cameron Munster not being there will have in this team. So, look, as I said, I tipped the Storm early on in the week. I'm going the Panthers now.
Yeah, I think when the Panthers lost to the Storm in the grand final a few years ago, then been able to pretty much beat them nearly every time since that broke the hoodoo that the Storm had over the Panthers for like over 20 years too, right? So the Storm just had the wood on the Panthers most of the time. That seems to change a lot. Doesn't mean Panthers have got the wood on the Storm all the time, but that psychological edge that they might have had before, well, that's not there anymore. So it could go either way, literally, which is a position you want to be in. Tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m, got the Eels up against the Bulldogs. So I think the Eels will win. I think the Bulldogs have got a really good team, particularly through Steve Crichton. So I think he is probably more invaluable for anyone else for what he's going to bring on and off the field. So not just playing-wise, just leadership, and he's got a real X-factor winning attitude and that sort of stuff. So that's going to be a massive loss for Penrith. If Penrith don't go on this year, that would be one of the major contributing factors for them not being able to really compete strong or win the comp. So, because he's a massive player.
Yeah, he is, and he captains the side as well, so congratulations to him. Takes over from Reid Marnie and Matt Burton, I think, as they were co-captains. So he is the sole captain this year, and look, a lot of, I guess you could call it, pressure is going to be on him, being the star recruit and hopefully turning this team around to, you know, potentially, I don't think they will, but potentially play finals. So a lot of pressure is on him, but he is a quality player, and he'll take to the Bulldogs what he learnt at the Panthers, the experience in big games, and this is a big game. The Eels and the Bulldogs are massive rivals, all goes back to the 80s and even since. So the sold out sign went up today. Combank Stadium is sold out, so not too sure if it'll be a ground record, so it'll be interesting to see how many members turn up to the game tomorrow night. But the sold out sign has gone up, so a lot of pressure on Parramatta as well. Obviously not making the finals last season after making the grand final in 2022. They're back at home. Mike Acevo is suspended from a hit in the trial game against the Titans, so Bailey Simonson goes onto the wing, and Morgan Harper from Manly makes his club debut in the centres, one of the pickups there, and also Kelma Tuilagi. I'm really excited to see him play tomorrow night. Comes on an interchange bench, our other signing from Manly. So look, this is going to be a great game. As I said, two fierce rivals. Canterbury hate Parramatta. Parramatta hate Canterbury. The fans are probably a bit like the same as well. Whenever you ask either sets of fans which team do they not like, and it's usually Parramatta or Canterbury, whichever side of the fence you're on. So this is going to be a cracker. This could be a game of the round as well. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, potentially. So the Bulldogs will have points in them to go for it. I think Parramatta do too. They need to really shut the Bulldogs down, because the Bulldogs will leak some points, but if they get points on, I haven't seen the Eels really have the capability, except for against Penrith when they step it up, to probably put on 30 or 35 points on someone at the moment. So in the last couple of years, I think they might need to do it, right? Because I do think the Bulldogs potentially, with Stephen Crichton, will keep lifting the team. And by being captain, takes pressure off Reid Marnie and takes pressure off Matt Burton. They're going to be able to play their normal game now. Steve Crichton will probably slide right into this. Mitchell Moses, we'll see what he can do. I would think that he'll be the X-Factor guy there for the Eels. The new guy that's coming from Manly, he's a pretty good pickup too. So I think he'll be able to aim up. Is he starting or is he off the bench?
So we've got two from Manly. Morgan Harper in the centres, he's starting, and Kelma Tuilagi from Manly as well.
Tuilagi.
Number 17. He's a big, mobile second rower. Could play front row as well, maybe. But good. I'm excited to see him play. He had some pretty good trial form, and he should go all right. A good addition to the Eels.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Ali Lauatiti that used to play for the Warriors. So interested to see how he goes. Like, if you get ball distribution going, he's going to be pretty hard to contain. So
interesting story about Ali. I was listening to the Get the Edge podcast with Hayden Knowles, who was at the Eels a long time ago now. Brian Smith tried to get Ali from the Warriors to Parramatta in the early 2000s. So could you imagine if that happened? In those early 2000s, if Ali played at Parramatta, would they have won competitions? Who knows?
Well, I think they were missing like a big prop too, really. Like in 2001 when they lost to the Knights, they had decent players, but they never had a big guy really just chopped forward. Like Penrith have got Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris. If Penrith want to know what problems will be, if they lose both those guys in a year or two of each other, that is when you'll see how good Penrith are, regardless of how good their back line is, because those guys do a lot of work going forward for Penrith. So Ali Lauatiti would have been a really good pickup for Parramatta back in the day with the guys that they had, like Iron Marsh and Kalis and all those sorts of guys.
And also a congratulations to Dylan Brown as well. He plays his 100th NRL game as well, all at Parramatta. So congratulations to him, made his debut in 2019.
Yeah, so when Dylan Brown played well in the lead up to the grand final against Panthers, he was outstanding. Then had an off game on grand final night, and they were off as well. So it's no surprise in particular. The next game, so I like one of these sides. I actually thought we were going to go close to making top. I didn't think they probably would, or they might just make it. The Titans against the Dragons, but they lost Toby Sexton, and I think that is massive. That's a massive blow. I don't know if they've replaced him or if they can actually replace him at the moment. It's too late to bring someone in, so I'm not sure how they're going to manage that because he's a good half.
Yeah, look, it is a loss for the Titans. They've got a young bloke called Tom Weaver who played a couple of games last year for the Titans. He's a halfback. They've got Tanner Boyd in there starting against the Dragons. He's played a couple of seasons now at the Gold Coast, and you've got I shouldn't call him that, but you've got the experienced Kieran Foran at 5'8". So yeah, he'll help Tanner in the halves throughout the season. But look, this game, two coaches coming back into the NRL, Des Hasler for the Titans and Shane Flanagan for the Dragons. So that'll be an interesting matchup there. It's up at the Gold Coast. Many people think that the Dragons will struggle this season. And look, talking to Shane Flanagan on the podcast a week ago or so about 2024 and the off-season, he's just quietly confident that he can potentially win games and just be competitive week in, week out. Zach Lomax is on the wing, so a bit of a position change for him. Jack Bird's in the centres. There was a rumour going around yesterday, I think it was, that Zach wants to get out of the Dragons. So we'll just have to wait and see with that one. But and Kyle Flanagan as well was playing 5/8 to Ben Hunt, so he returns to playing with his dad being the first grade coach. For the Titans, AJ Brimson, he brings up his 100th NRL game as well, so a lot of milestones in this first round of the NRL. But he's in the centre position as well. We know him as a fullback. We've got Jaden Campbell to come back from injury soon, so I'm assuming he will take that fullback position and leave AJ in the centres. So pretty good forward pack for the Gold Coast Titans, and I'm going to tip the Gold Coast Titans to win this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I tipped the Titans. I think the Dragons have got it in them to win, but when I watch the Dragons win games the last couple of years, when they've had games like this, it'll go close down to the wire. They've had to get out in front early, because if they don't get out in front early, they've been run down quite a few times. So I haven't seen them chase someone down the last couple of years if they get in front. I'm not sure. So Tino Fasuamoali and also David Fafita, they're big strike weapons in the forwards for Titans, so they look really, really good there. I just think they're missing an X-factor guy in the backs, right? If they can get that sorted out on top of the talented backs they've got, and they've got plenty of talented backs, I think they can turn around from being like a side that finishes 9th to 13th or 14th to potentially being a side that finishes like 4th to 8th. So there's not very much in it for the Titans at the moment, like a couple of decent recruits here or there, a string of wins like that. They're going to be like the Raiders, pretty similar, I think, where they're going to be able to get a lot of wins. A lot of people are already writing them off. Losing Toby Sexton, I think that's going to hurt them, right? So, and they'll be down towards the bottom end of the comp. I think the Dragons will be as well, but West Tigers, they reassured me with a brilliant performance the other week that St George might actually come second last now. So I'm pretty confident in that. So I thought the Dragons were all right in the trials from what I saw. So, yeah, Shane Flanagan, he's got a lot of work to do. He knows that, right? So,
oh yeah, it's only baby steps at the moment, and he's not going to do it all in the first year. So, it's a progression that hopefully he can work on. And look, he's a premiership winning coach, so he didn't do it straight away when he went to Cronulla as head coach, and took a couple of years, but he got them a premiership. So I'm not saying that he'll get a premiership at the Dragons, but he could turn them into a semi-final team.
Yeah, so what I actually think the Dragons, so won't say it until the next couple of years, that I think they've got a really good opportunity if they pick up some good juniors that are coming through clubs like Penrith and that are not getting the opportunities. The Dragons over the next couple of years with some stability and a strong coach are going to be able to make that a more attractive and appealing option to those sorts of guys. So we'll see how they go this year. I'm pretty confident they're going to be down towards the bottom of the comp, all right? So, but I'm not sure where they'll drop, because I think there will be not too much in it again this year. If you had a really bad run for a while, you could well be down near the bottom of the comp, and you have a really good run for a while, you could go from near the bottom of the comp up into the top 8 again for sure. The next game, Dolphins against the Cowboys. I am pretty sure it's on Sunday, 4:05 p.m. I'm pretty sure that I actually picked the Cowboys to win this game, right? I think the Cowboys have got potential to do it, but both of these sides, so the last four sides that are playing this weekend actually are probably going to be down towards the bottom end of the competition. So they're going to have tougher years than other teams. So I'd like to see something on the board before they change my mind at the moment. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, look, this is going to be an interesting game at Suncorp Stadium on Sunday. The Dolphins, they won this game last year, the round one clash, their inaugural game in the NRL against the Roosters. So you don't know which team's going to turn up. The Cowboys, they didn't make the finals last year. Again, they made a prelim in 2022, so they'll be desperate to get back into the top 8 this season, and this will be the game that they start off wanting to win against. Look, the Dolphins are a good side. They've shown that they can play some good footy. They've got Herbie Farnworth and Tom Flegler into their season, into their team for the season, so they're a good couple of purchases there. Look, Jake Averillo, a purchase from Canterbury, couldn't make the starting side, that one's a little bit interesting. But I think, if Herbie can play his form that he did last year for the Broncos in this Dolphins team, it could potentially change them around. But I think the Cowboys, they'll win this game. As I said, they'll be wanting to get back in the winner's circle and start up their season with a win. And the Cowboys got new co-captains, Reuben Cotter and Tom Dearden as well. So look, they've got great forwards there, the Cowboys, and I think they'll get the win.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Cowboys will get the win too. I'm pretty sure I picked them in the tipping comp as well. So speaking about that, so we've got a tipping comp going here at Pulse FM at the moment. So you're not on board, but you're thinking about jumping in, Troy. I suggest you do, because our expert tipsters so far are smashing it on one. So
okay, well,
if anyone's listening, then yeah, 100%. If anyone's listening and they want to get on board, you can. There's a $20 buy-in for it. So winner takes all at the end of the season. All the details on how to make the payment and that stuff, they're all on Pulse FM page on the Facebook page there. Have a look for the footy tip and comp post. There is a couple out there. I'll put one on Duckman as well, so you can catch it there too. So it will be good. It's a lot of fun. I think there's 13 or 15 people involved at the moment. And the two people that are leading the comp, actually, so I'm equal with them as well on one. But the two people are actually on top. Actually, both of them know nothing about rugby league. So
well, you
makes me feel very dumb.
Yeah, well, you'd think that now that I talk to you on Fridays and Sundays about rugby league, you think I should be in there, which I will be joining. And look, come and try your hand against the not so-called expert. I'm not an expert by any means, but just a lover of rugby league. So, yeah, definitely I'll get involved and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So test it out. If you know a bit about rugby league, you're going to be doing better than like 99% of everyone else that's involved in it. I like to consider myself a bit of a dab hand to have a fair understanding of what's going on, but my tips would tell you otherwise. So there you go. So there you go. What have you got coming up this week in the Paracay podcast, Troy?
Got a lot happening. I'm bringing out a lot more podcasts each and every week. I'll have a replay chat of this one come out tomorrow, and also tomorrow I'll have a game day preview come out. Canterbury fan, massive fan, George from the Quick Hands podcast. We did a game day preview the other day, so that'll come out tomorrow. Released yesterday was the episode with Spiro Christopoulos. You may know him from 2GB. He's been on the continuous call team, and he's also on the Ben Fordham show. So massive Parramatta fan. So that interview is out now, but yeah, a lot of content coming out on the Paracay podcast. So check it out on Instagram and also Apple, Spotify as well. So a lot coming out each and every week now that the footy is back.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. So looking forward to hearing that and catching all your podcasts. And it is good that footy is back. That is a massive thing. So there you go. Everyone can catch it all here live on Pulse FM. And there's stacks to come in the world of footy. So round one and 27 rounds plus finals will be going through till the best part of the end of September. So, September, October. So,
yeah, that's it.
So, So jump on board at the moment. There's some easy money up for grabs for people. They're prepared to ride it out and play the long game. So that's definitely guaranteed there. Troy, thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate your time. And unfortunately, so for any listeners that are listening, I'm commentating for Football New South Wales at the moment on varied nights. So unfortunately, commentating again this Sunday night, be at Cromer Park, commentating Manly up against Illawarra Stingrays. So I won't be on air, but we'll catch up with you again next Friday night.
Not a problem. That sounds great. And enjoy your footy over the weekend, and we'll review it all next week, and we'll chat on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it, Troy. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Duckman.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Parramatta Podcast.